Have you ever noticed something strange? When you succeed, it's because you're talented, smart, hardworking. But when you fail, suddenly it's the traffic, bad luck, unfair people, or impossible circumstances. You ace the test? I studied hard. You fail the test? The questions were terrible. That mental trick has a name. It's called self-serving bias, and almost everyone does it. Self-serving bias is the brain's tendency to protect our self-esteem by taking personal credit for success while blaming outside forces for failure. In simple terms, good outcome? That was me. Bad outcome? That was everything except me. And the scary part is, most people don't even realize they're doing it. Imagine two coworkers giving the same presentation. One receives praise from the boss and immediately thinks, "I'm really good at communication." The other gets criticism and thinks, "The boss was already in a bad mood." Maybe both are partly true, but self-serving bias pushes us toward explanations that make us feel better about ourselves. Psychologists believe this happens because humans are emotionally wired for self-protection. If we blamed ourselves for every failure, confidence would collapse. So the brain quietly edits reality to keep our self-image stable. It acts almost like an internal PR manager, not completely lying, just selectively interpreting events in our favor. You can see self-serving bias everywhere. In sports, when a team wins, players talk about discipline and strategy. When they lose, suddenly it's bad referees or weather conditions. In relationships, people often describe themselves as honest and misunderstood, while describing ex-partners as toxic or unreasonable. In business, successful investors call themselves strategic geniuses during a market boom. But when the market crashes, it's suddenly unpredictable chaos. Even social media feeds this bias. People showcase victories publicly, promotions, vacations, achievements, while quietly hiding failures and mistakes. Over time, this creates a distorted reality where everyone appears more successful, smarter, and more in control than they really are. The problem isn't confidence itself. The problem is that self-serving bias can block growth. If every failure is always someone else's fault, improvement becomes impossible. A bad student blames teachers. A bad leader blames employees. A bad driver blames everyone on the road. And eventually people stop learning because they stop accepting responsibility. Ironically, the people who improve the fastest are usually those willing to honestly examine their own mistakes, even when it hurts. Self-serving bias doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. Every mind tries to protect itself from discomfort, but real self-awareness begins when you ask a difficult question. What if I'm not seeing this situation objectively? Because sometimes the biggest obstacle to growth is the story we tell ourselves about why we failed. If you enjoyed this psychology breakdown, subscribe for more videos on the hidden biases shaping human behavior.